Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever the hell you guys are located. My name's Al Ditton. I'm with Underground Noise Webzine. Welcome to Webisode number 57. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, like it, share it with your friends that are into metal music that's in the underground, as well as rock and roll. Today, my guest is Parker Yowell from the band called the Archaic Epidemic, and he's also a drum tech for Thy Art is Murder. Parker, welcome. How you doing today, sir?
How's it going, man? Pretty good, pretty good. Doing all right.
That's wonderful.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Hey, you're
Hell
welcome.
yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're one of my new guests, so hey, why not? So
Yeah, man.
I'm doing all right myself, dealing with a sinus infection, but making the best of it.
Fun stuff. Always fun. Always good.
If you want to keep it that way, I don't know.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't, but
Yeah, I'm a little bit less miserable considering I'm
well,
doing
it's
this
always good.
interview with you. The first question I would
There
like
we
to
go.
ask you, Parker, who are your influences?
Oh man, probably when I started getting into bands like Chimera, see Whitechapel. Yeah, we're back. We're back. We're good.
Cool. The second question I would like to ask you is, who came up with the band name The Archaic Epidemic? And also, how did you come up with the name? And did you have any names prior to that?
I have no idea. I think our guitar player Andrew had it. I joined done. So Austin from Lorna Shore actually played drums on the first one. Um, so I think it was a name Andrew had for a while. I just never had used it for anything. And looking to get on some tours and stuff. And then pretty much whenever Thy Art needs me, I'm out with them as well. So yeah, it's busy. It's tricky to keep up with everything sometimes.
That's very awesome.
Yeah.
How you, how were you introduced to extreme metal music?
Ooh, honestly, probably the guy who taught me drums, Kevin Talley. When he joined Chimera, I hadn't heard of really anybody that he played with at that point because I didn't know anything about death metal. And so I went back and ended up hearing him play with Fetus and Misery Index and all those bands. And so I'd say honestly that was kind of my first introduction to anything that was you know more extreme like that. Before I'd been listening to like Trivium and Killswitch and stuff like that, and thinking that was the heaviest that it got. And then you hear Fetus, and you're just kind of like, oh, like it's a little different. So
I
yeah,
can definitely relate to that because the first time I heard Dying Fetus, I was like, what the fuck is this? You know?
yeah, yeah,
It just surprises you, it gets right in your face and just wants to tear your flesh off. It's amazing.
yeah. So that was probably it. Honestly, hearing drumming like that, I was just kind of like, whoa, I want to do that. And so yeah,
That's really impressive. I love the answer to that question. Absolutely, man. Shout out to Kevin
hell
Taylor
yeah,
for giving this guy some influence on his music. So that's amazing. I love that. I
yeah.
met
That's my dude right there. That's my
yeah,
dude.
I actually met him a couple of times, once in 2006, then in '09 when he was playing with Hate Eternal.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I saw them in
Oh
Rochester,
yeah,
New
that's
York.
right. I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I saw them when they played at the
Oh
Penny,
yeah.
and that place shut down. So that venue is no longer an option in New York,
Okay, yeah.
sadly. But the place next to it went out of business.
Yeah. I'm not sure if
So
we're hitting Rochester on the next tour. I don't know.
yeah, Rochester's a pretty cool spot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to go up there quite a bit in '06 with a friend of mine. Shout
Yeah,
out
I've
to
always had a good
Carmine.
time there.
Thanks for taking me to all those shows with you. Yeah, we got to see Decent Flesh up there too. So that was nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Sick.
Right on. Hey Parker, my next question for you is would you like to share with me your favorite tour story? The one
It's
that
not
stands
even necessarily like a specific. Yeah. Honestly, probably. it's kind of like, not what you'd think, but one of my old bands who isn't a band anymore, we actually did a song with CJ from Art, and I was on tour with Fetus, and it was co-headliner with Art, and CJ, like, not only did he not need to do the song with us, and he did, um, he took the time, like, one day at a venue. I don't even remember where it was, but it was like over an hour, and we just sat down and went over the song and went over the lyrics, and he was helping out, like, hey, this is too wordy, let's do this here, like, actually, like, being involved in it and not just, what do you want me to do, all right, and then doing vocals, so honestly, that was pretty cool. I mean, I definitely, I appreciated that, and then, didn't know that a few years later I'd be in the Viart camp. So it was kind of comes full circle.
Yeah, got a connection there, so that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So just something kind of cool that happened on tour. I don't have really any crazy tour stories. I kind of just hang out on the bus and and all that. But that was definitely something that kind of stood out to me. Because he didn't need to take the time to do that. Like, we'd only been on the road together for a couple of weeks at that point. So it was like, didn't really know each other that well, and yeah, so that was cool, man.
That is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
You keep in contact with your fans that you meet along the way?
Yeah, I try to, man. I get people hitting me up, and people seeing me at shows and stuff like that, and that's super awesome. It's crazy when somebody from, you know, across the country has seen you play and all that. And I get people from European tours hitting me up still, and being like, "When are you coming back to Europe?" And I'm just like, "Dude, I don't know. Hopefully soon. I don't book the tours." But that's super cool to be able to keep in touch with everybody and let them know if I'm coming back around their area and all that stuff. So
I hope everybody heard that correctly. We're all in this together. So let's keep
absolutely, man.
let's keep it going.
Absolutely.
What would you say has been your favorite thing about being a musician?
Honestly, I'd say just meeting people that you wouldn't meet otherwise. I mean, I've got friends from so many different countries that I never thought I'd meet anybody from there. Like, I got friends from Holland and Sweden, and of course, my guys being in Australia. It's just like, I feel like just meeting so many different people is that's probably my favorite thing, and getting to travel and see countries that otherwise you might not get to go to.
My next question would be trying to remember what it was just now. I had a brain fart. Would you how would you describe the difference in the music between the Archaic Epidemic and Thy Art Is Murder and Beyond the Tides? Like, are they all about the
Uh,
same or are they a little bit different?
well, Beyond is definitely the odd one out, for sure. We're kind of more in the wage war architects, ice nine kills kind of vein of things. Maybe a little more melodic, focused on big chorus hooks and all that stuff like that. um Archaic is definitely more symphonic, I would say, than a band like Art. Maybe a little less riffy, um but the two definitely have some similarities. Of course, there's breakdowns and all that good stuff. um Art's definitely faster overall, I'd say. You know, maybe a little more technical, a little techier. But definitely Beyond is the odd one out in that scenario.
That's cool. Another question about
Yeah.
all three bands. Do you guys have any upcoming shows that you're eager to check out?
Um, Archaic is working on some shows. Beyond is working on some stuff as well. Like I said, that's kind of a tour only kind of thing, just because of distance. It doesn't make any sense to fly everybody into Baltimore to play a show. That's kind of goofy. That doesn't really work. Um, and then yeah, then Viart just announced that that Hate tour. They're doing that in the States, so I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then past that, who knows? Hopefully more stuff gets booked.
That's really cool.
I'd like to be out with all three bands this year. If possible. I've got one down and two to go. Or
Well,
next year, I suppose, 23.
got a little bit then less than a month left, so might well get at it,
Yeah,
while you still
yeah,
can.
I know, right? Yeah, 2020. Yeah, 23. I would like to be out with all three bands. Yeah.
That'd be badass. I mean, you guys could always do it in 2023 as well, That'd be cool too.
Yeah, that would be ideal for sure. Yep.
Are there any places in the world that you have not seen yet that you've always wanted to see?
Plenty. Yeah, haven't made it over to the UK. We played a bunch of places in Europe, but didn't get to England or anything like that. I'd love to go to Australia. I mean, that would be, an awesome place to get to play some shows and do all that. Um, yeah, I did make it down to South America with Fetus, which was cool. Um, but I'd love to do a bigger tour down there and go to more than just one place.
That's really
But yeah,
awesome.
Australia would probably be the big one. Yeah, definitely want to get over to Australia for sure.
Yeah, I used to listen to a band from Australia back in the day. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. They're known as Mortification.
Okay, haven't heard of them, but that's sick.
Yeah, they were a pretty good band for what they were. They were Christian death metal when they first started out. And then bands like
Okay,
Crimson
right on.
Pearl showed up and Living Sacrifice and stuff like that. But
Yeah, yeah,
I listen to everything. So with me, I'm just there for the music impact. Sometimes the lyrics aren't important to me as they are to others. But
yeah, yeah. I feel you.
do you write the lyrics for your band? Or is
I
that
do
something?
not.
Okay.
Nope. That's Ian and Trevor, respectively, for Archaic and Beyond. They handle all that stuff. I sometimes will have ideas about, well, mostly with Trevor because we're dealing with Beyond is dealing with like choruses and actual, clean vocals and stuff like that. So sometimes I may go, hey, throw a harmony on this line or on that or this or that or that, but I'm not sitting there writing lyrics or anything like that. I'm no good at that. They wouldn't want me to do that anyway.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that completely. I write lyrics myself and I write my own music, so it keeps me busy as well.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I'm working on a song right now, and it's just yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, with me, it involves a lot of down picking on the guitar instead of up picking because I don't do sweeps or arpeggios or anything like that. It's just you know, really chunky riffs with some hardcore chords that just they'll pierce your ears pretty hard.
Yeah, there you go.
Throw some
Hell
pinch
yeah.
harmonics in there, and then you're all set.
Always, always. I got to watch myself because I keep hitting too many pinches. I'm like, all right, I got to stop that.
Is there any note that you haven't played yet on your guitar? I mean, I hit the 24th fret sometimes, and I'll bend the high E string pretty hard, but it's
Yeah,
D
I
standard.
mean, I don't.
It just
I
pierces the
probably
ears.
hang out. Yeah, I hang out pretty much, 12th fret and down.
That's
Anywhere
awesome.
from open to 12. Yeah, open to 12 is kind of my bread and butter.
That's what's up, man. Good to know because sometimes it's not how technical you are or how fast or slow you are, as long as you got a good riff and a good beat behind it. That's all that matters, really. I can definitely
Yeah,
appreciate that.
absolutely. Yeah, I feel like some bands. Yeah, I feel like some bands play too many notes in general, and it's just like, all right, guys, let's relax a little bit.
Yeah, not to knock at Flesh God Apocalypse, but I think they're just the next level of orchestra death metal. Because they have so many different
Oh,
notes.
they're so sick.
They're great. They're great.
Yeah, they're so sick. Yeah,
Mafia, and also Oracles was my favorite releases by them.
yeah. I'm not uber familiar with any of their actual releases, but like I've seen their videos and all that stuff, and yeah, they're gnarly. They're so good.
Yeah, they just blow me away. I've never seen them live, but I'd like to. Them and Hour of Penance, both Italian death metal
Yeah,
bands.
yeah, they're sick. Oh, I'd like to go to Italy too, but tours usually don't go there, so probably won't happen. But
Hey, it might be in the future. Put it on your bucket list. I'm going to do the same thing.
I know, right? Yeah, I should.
Absolutely, dude. Well, Parker, I really can't think of anything else to ask you, but I'm glad that you could share a portion of your time with me today.
Yeah, of course, man. Anytime, anytime.
Do you have any last words for Underground Noise Webzine?
Oh man, just thanks for doing what you do, spreading the word about bands. I mean, that's the best thing in this day and age is to just tell everybody about the music and share it. And I mean, with social media, I feel like it's good and bad. Like more bands can get seen, but then there are more bands, so it's kind of like you might just kind of get lost in this mass of just bands. Um, so basically, just spreading the word about bands you like and all that stuff. And if you want to see them on tour, just don't stop talking about them, and promoters eventually will be like, oh, I guess people like that band, and then that's the best thing you can do, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
And you're welcome. Thanks for again for sharing your time with me today. And before I
Of
forget,
course, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I want to give a
Yep.
shout out to Rhino from Outcast Radio for helping me get this interview, together and collaborate.
Hell yeah.
And keep your horns up, everybody. Support underground music. Support your local music scene. Support the Archaic Epidemic, Beyond the Tides, and Thy Art is Mir, and also Underground Noise Webzine. I would appreciate it, guys. Thanks again, Parker.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, man.